Number 5 tip. Write out your responses to these key questions, and I'm going to give you the questions ahead of time in a Word document because I want you to start memorizing them so that they roll off the tip of your tongue and it sounds like, oh, I just thought of that, really cool. Write them down because every so often you'll be talking to a recruiter and it'll just be like, whoa, this all of a sudden got really serious. And it feels like, oh, I'm in, this is the actual job interview, and it gets really serious real quickly. And you so very badly want to give a good impression and you just want to be very, come off, very confidently. So here are the questions. I want you to write these down and I want you to sort of practice them, and then that way they'll roll off the tip of your tongue. So A, tell me about yourself. Now, this is where your 90-second elevator pitch comes in handy because you could kind of launch into that as long as it doesn't sound too rehearsed. You could launch into that. Some people talk about where they went to school, what their major is, what their minor is, where they're from, what their interests are. That's all fine. I'm just saying that think about how you might want to narrow that down. And B, why are you interested in this industry or this company or this position, if that's applicable? And really think about that and have some, good answers because you don't want it to just be that, well, you want a job and they're offering a job like that. That's not a reason. You really want to think about why are you interested in this company, in this industry, or in this position, and have that handy. Think about that, and then you'll be more prepared. C, why should we consider hiring you? Now, again, you may go back to parts of your 90-second elevator pitch, or it may be some combination of why you're interested in working for that company. It could be a personal reason. It could be, somebody in your family worked there or had a particular interest in that, and that got you interested in it. Or you've always been interested in finance. You always dreamed of working on Wall Street, or you always dreamed about working with kids, or you have somebody in your family has a disability, and so you've always wanted to work in that industry. Whatever it is, that's when you bring in the personal story. That's when you rely sometimes on your elevator pitch, but have a few stories that are genuine, that highlight what made you even interested in that major to begin with. Make sure that it's not overly like, oh, just, to make a lot of money or whatever. Just so humanize that part of it, so come up with some good stories. D, what are your strengths? Now, here's where I want you to sound confident, but not cocky. So if you need to practice on that, give some thought to that. Think of, go back over your resume, think about what your strengths are, and just try to, say them in a very confident way, but not like a too cocky way. If you need to practice find somebody in your career center to role play with and say, how does this sound? And bring the list of questions with you and pretend that you're answering these questions. And E, share a weakness. Now, recruiters, they may or may not do this too at a job fair, but really I just want you to be prepared. This also gets you prepared for a job interview. So sharing a weakness. Usually this is when you want to pull in a story about a time when you made a mistake and then you engaged in some self-reflection and you learned the value of, making a list first, or the importance of being earlier on time or something because of some incident. So A or E was share a weakness. So number 6, what do employees or employers like to see and hear? So this is my last tip for you. And what employers really like to see and hear is they want to see energy and they want to see interest. So this is where your being prepared really comes into play. So, I mean, you can have energy by drinking a lot of Red Bull, right? But the interest, you're going to be genuinely interested and pumped up to meet them and everything. Once you identify the companies that you're interested in, do the research, come up with the questions, and then it'll get you excited about like, oh yeah, I want to meet somebody who works there. It sounds really cool, and I want to ask them these questions, and so that's why like doing all of this preparation work, makes you, then you can have fun with it because you're like on a scavenger hunt. Like, I want to get answers to these questions, and this is going to be, a really fun thing to do. And this is maybe sort of job fair 2.0, but the ability to customize those personal stories to fit the company's needs, that takes a little bit of work, a little bit of practice getting used to, but those stories about like, why should we hire you? Or, tell me about a time that you overcame an obstacle, or, something like that. So have a few of those in your back pocket, and then, just to try to, vary them a little bit from company to company. This may take a little practice, but it's worth it. You don't want to be that student with the same pickup line or whatever. So try to mix it up a little bit. Be creative. Think of how annoyed you get when people try to pick you up with the same pickup line. Come here often, You don't want that. You want to be creative. You want to have like different stories and talk about your passion, talk about your interests, and then you can just, kind of mix that up. It'll make it less boring for you, and then you'll be glad you did. So, to recap, number 1, register for the event. Don't blow it off. Don't just like, oh, I'll drop by if I feel like it. Register for the event. Number 2, research the list of companies before the event and make a top 10. Number 3, prepare a list of customized questions for those companies. That's why you need to do the research, okay? And I want different questions for all the different companies. Number 4, practice your elevator pitch, your 90-second spiel about what is unique about you and what you bring to the table. Number 5, memorize responses to those questions that recruiters may ask of you. And then once you do that a few times, you'll be a lot more comfortable, and it'll just be easy and fun to go to these things. And then you can just be, relaxed, and you can be yourself. And number 6, remember to be energized and to stay interested. So that's all my tips. Good luck to all of you. You will find a job, I promise. Please leave a question or a comment below, and remember to hit the subscribe button. And always remember to keep learning.